And here we have the JOBY GorillaPod. This is the good, sturdy kind of GorillaPod. If you are looking to mount a smartphone, it does include the tripod plate, but you will need an adapter such as this that's got the tripod mount that you can put your cell phone into. If you're looking to attach a point and shoot, for sure, no problem. I've even attached it to my Sony RX10 Mark IV, which is a hybrid bridge camera with a large zoom lens, and I'm going to show you how it can support that, just being mindful of when the lens is extended. So I'll show you here how to take it off. You just want to unscrew there and loosen up the ball joints. This is all really good quality. I was surprised that the plate itself is actually metal. Okay, and then you can tighten that back up so it's not flopping. And on the back side, you've got a little tightener there for when you tighten it to the bottom of your camera. So I've got my camera here. I'll put it in that tripod mount. And then just make sure you got it like aligned with your bottom of your camera there. And then you can flop that down. Now this part you're going to start having to pay attention and be careful, because you got to get it into the grooves. And my camera weighs like 4 pounds, so I'm kind of just going to be careful here, making sure I hold that secure, tighten the knob really good. Okay, so that's good and tight. Holds the camera, no problem. Okay, so clearly can support the weight. Like I said, this is it's a little over 4 pounds camera. It's a bridge camera, but if you have a DSLR that weighs about that, you would be fine as long as you're careful when you're operating, okay? So, for example, when I turn it on, this camera lens zooms out automatically. And if I'm at full zoom, which on this camera actually goes all the way to 600 millimeters, see, and it starts to kind of pull the weight forward. So what you want to do is make sure you've got this ball joint, the big large knob, make sure that you got that snug, okay? And me personally, I'm not the type to walk away and just leave the camera with the lens that far extended. So that's why I say you have to be careful. If you have a large lens, I would always have one hand on the camera somewhere, just in case, you know, if you're shooting outdoors, perhaps a wind comes through and knocks your camera over, you wouldn't want that to happen. So that's why I would keep a hand on it if you have a larger lens like that. If I have it like this, and this is at, where am I at here? This is at like 30 millimeters, so kind of a wide angle. It's not sticking out too far, and I feel okay leaving it like that, but I'm still gonna be nearby. So shut that down. You know, at that point, you know, it's a little bit heavy, but these legs feel strong and sturdy. I've never had any issues really with the legs cracking or anything. The rubber has started to deteriorate a little bit, but considering I've had this JOBY for a couple of years, that's not a big deal. I wish that two things I wish that were different about the JOBY GorillaPod is, one, I do wish it had a quick release plate, something a little bit easier, because I've found myself fumbling sometimes trying to line it up, put it back on. I was just struggling a moment ago trying to get it off the camera. But the ball joints and such, they're really good quality. Like I said, legs are good. My other complaint thing I would change is talking about the rubber deteriorating a little bit. The bottoms, I don't know, I didn't use the GorillaPod for a couple of years, and I started getting back into videography, and I was making videos and I had it like on a desk or like this table, and as you can see, there's like black stuff coming off it. It was actually leaving streaks on my table, so I put some electrical tape on the bottoms of these feet in order to keep it from streaking. It was actually leaving marks on my table, just moving it ever so gently. I wasn't like pushing it or forcing it. So that's the two downsides about it, the plate and the legs leaving that residue. But Again, I didn't use it for a few years, you know, perhaps just sitting in storage, it just kind of started to fall apart because I don't remember it doing that before. But other than that, it's really solid, it's good construction, and if you're going to be using a smartphone, be sure to get yourself an adapter for it, and it would definitely support even the largest cell phone, no problem.